Good morning, everyone. Sarah. I hope you all are studying at home. So, today in your English online class, we are going to study one poem. So, as we are covering our chapters one by one, let's see which chapter we are going to study today. So, here is our chapter number 5, A Night in June. So it's not any story or any extract or a biography, it's a poem written by William Wordsworth. Everybody knows that William Wordsworth is an efficient and a great poet, and he is an English poet. So today we are going to study what was the opinion of the William Wordsworth while writing this poem, what he was thinking, why he has written this poem. As this poem is based on London, so we are talking about a summer night in this poem. What was the idea and imagination behind this poem? So these all things we are going to learn in this poem, A Night in June. I'm repeating the chapter name again, A Night in June, written by William Wordsworth. So before starting this poem, let's study about William Wordsworth so we can easily identify the idea and imagination behind the poem. What was the thinking of the poet while writing this poem? So here is William Wordsworth, born on 1770. So this poet was very famous, and he has written the wonderful poem A Night in June, where he has explained his poem with compare with the nature. He has beautifully written this poem with some wonderful words. Let's read about the William Wordsworth. He is a poet, William Wordsworth. So, William Wordsworth, as I told you, William Wordsworth, he was a British poet. He was born on 1770, 7th of April 1770. He was the first British poet who was keen on exploring his idea or theories based on nature with relationship with human. His theory based on romanticism, which means idea based on art and culture. Now in this poem, he explored how did he started his poetry. First of all, we will think about how he did started his poetry, means how did he started writing. What was the incident which inspired him to become a poet? So one in his school teacher inspired him to write a poetry. When he wrote a poetry, his poetry was appreciated by the teacher, and from afterwards he keep on writing. Later on he come to know that he is very good in imagination, and he can also become very famous for writing a poem on nature. His some of the famous poems are The Daffodil and The Solitary Reaper. William Wordsworth considered to be one of the most important English poet, founding the father of literary movement called Romanticism. Romanticism means comparing the idea or dealing with the nature. As he wrote poetry in many forms, but he was always concerned about the human relation to nature. Same in this poem, A Night in June, we are also going to learn how he compare or how he concern with human relation with nature. Now, what is the central idea of the poem, A Night in June? The poet William Wordsworth describes about the beautiful night of summer in London. Man's anxiety if there will be one concerned with nature. So as I told you, he was the poet which always think about the relationship between a man and the nature. So in this poem also we will see his anxiety about this. So this is the central idea of the poem which I told you. Now let's read the poem, and then afterward one by one I will explain you the meaning and the idea behind the poem. Let's start with the first line. The sun has long been set. The stars are out by twos, threes. The little birds are peeping yet among the bushes and trees. There's a cuckoo and one or two thrushes, and a far off wind that rushes, and the sound of water that gushes, and the cuckoo's Soviet cry fill all the hollow of the sky. Who would go parading in London and masquerading on such a night of June with that beautiful soft half moon and all these innocent blossoms, and such a night as this is? One more time. The sun has long been set. The stars out by twos and threes. The little birds are peeping yet among the bushes and trees. There's a cuckoo and one or two thrushes, and a far off wind that rushes, and the sound of water that gushes, and the cuckoo's solemn cry fill all the hollow of the sky. Who would go parading in London and masquerading on such a night of June with that beautiful soft half moon and all these innocent blossoms on such a night as this is? So student, this was a reading of a poem. I know you are not able to understand. So now we are going to understand the idea behind the poem one by one. Before this, let's see some difficult words with their meaning. So it will be very easy for you to understand the meaning of the poem and what are the idea behind the poem. So let's see word meaning. So here we have some words with their meanings. So let's start. Now peeping, singing in a high voice. Singing in a high voice. Peeping, singing in a high voice. Cuckoo, a type of bird. Cuckoo, a type of bird. Cuckoo, a type of bird. Thrush, a brown bird with spot. Thrush, a brown bird with spot. Souvenir, majestic. Souvenir, majestic. Hollow, empty space inside. Hollow, empty space inside. Masquerading, a formal dance. Masquerading, a formal dance. Masquerading, a formal dance. So these are the word meaning. So as I told you, the central idea of the poem. Now, as we all know that William Wordsworth always keep on writing something on nature. So in this poem also he explained about the summer night in London. While writing, he came across the man anxiety and he started thinking, or he thought, what will happen if people stop thinking about nature? As you all know, nature is very important. So he thought, what will happen if people stop thinking about nature, and what will be the consequences? So in this poem, at one time he was thinking and he is observing the beautiful nature, and on the second time he also, at the same time he was also thinking about the relation between the man and the nature. So let's do our poem paragraph wise or line wise line. Here our poem. The sun has long been set. The sun has long been set. As I told you, this poem is based on the summer in London. So the sun is taking so much time in being set. Here sun sets quite late. Sun sets quite late. And here the poet is trying to give you an imagination when the sun is setting and night is about to come. What is the situation? What is the scene of that time? He wants to give you that imagination. The stars are out by twos and threes because it is not a complete night time. So that's why, because the sun is about to set, so stars are there but only twos and threes. The little birds are peeping yet. They are singing yet because it's the evening time. They are enjoying that evening time. They know that night is about to come and sun is about to set. So the little birds are peeping yet means they are singing in a high voice yet even now. So I hope you understand the idea behind these three lines. So the sun has long been set because it's a summer time, so sun is taking time to being set. The stars are out by twos and three because it's not completely night, so stars are still there. The little birds are peeping yet. The little birds are still singing. Now, next two lines. Among the bushes and trees. So here the poet is telling the cuckoos and the thrushes. Cuckoo is also a type of bird and thrushes is also a type of bird, a brown bird with spot on its front. So here the poet is trying to give you the idea of a night. He wants to give you the imagination. Let's start imagination. Imagine that cuckoos and the thrushes are on the bushes and tree also. Here the poet wants to give you that scene, that imagination, that small birds and cuckoos are still on the trees and bushes. As I told you, cuckoo, a small type of bird. Thrush is a brown bird with spots on its front. This thrush is, you can Google the picture of the bird. You can Google also. And afar off with that wind that rushes, and the sound of water that gushes, and afar off wind that rushes, and the sound of water that gushes. So here the poet is, what he is thinking, that somewhere far off wind that rushes. Here he is saying that wind is moving smoothly. The wind is moving very smoothly. So he is enjoying the nature very much. The wind is blowing very smoothly, and in this line, poet is enjoying the movement of wind very much, and the sound of water that gushes. Here that water is flowing very nicely. He is enjoying the nature mother. So that's why he is enjoying each and every movement of the nature. He is enjoying the movement of wind. He is enjoying the movement or sound of water. So in these two lines, what poet is wants to tell, he is just enjoying the mother nature, and he is enjoying the each and every moment. So he is enjoying the movement of wind and water. Now in our next two lines, and the cuckoo sovereign cry fill the hollow of the sky. So sovereign, majestic, hollow, emptiness. Now here the cuckoo is actually crying in a sovereign manner. Here sovereign means very high scale or majestic. So he feels that everything is empty. The hollowness. The cuckoo is feeling the hollowness, the emptiness in the sky. Basically, he is concerned or he is scared with the emptiness of the sky. So here he described the cuckoo's souvenir cry with the emptiness of the sky. The cuckoo is scared. That's why he is crying. He is crying in a very high voice, but it is majestic also. As you know, cuckoo sings very well. So here in this two line, poet wants to tell that cuckoo is scared with the hollowness of the sky, means emptiness of the sky. Now next two lines. Who would go parading in London and masquerading? Now, who would go parading in London masquerading? Now the poet is has attention diverted towards the city. Now from the nature, as I told you, poet divert his thinking towards the city. So who would go parading in London and masquerading? Now the poet started thinking about the future. Would people, because he is asking this question, would people take care of nature? Would people take care of nature? And the things would be same as now. What is the concern of the poet in these two lines? That would the people care about nature, mother nature, or the things will be the same as it is now? So in these two lines, the concern of the poet shows. his concern about Mother Nature is showing in these two lines. Now next two lines, on such a night of June with the beautiful soft half moon. Now here soft half moon is very important phrase. Now here the poet wants to tell or wants to show you the face of the people. Face of the people means false mask. Here false mask means everybody has a mask on his face. That mask shows the false concern about the Mother Nature. But in reality, the people are not concerned with the Mother Nature. They are just doing the things which is affecting the Mother Nature. For example, pollution, doing wrong thing. So here, soft half moon poet wants to show you the real picture of a human being. They are wearing a mask and actually they are not concerned with the Mother Nature, but just as a false mask they are showing that they are concerned. So there is a question in poet mind. What is the question? The question is coming that what will happen in future. He is feeling something is lost, something is there which will harm the nature in future. Now in last, and all this innocent bliss. Here innocent bliss means the wind, the you can say the voice of a cuckoo, the birds, the peeping, these small things, the moon, the nature, everything which gives you happiness, which gives poet happiness on such a night as this is. So he is very much of concern that these beautiful things, the poet, the things that these beautiful things around him, what would happen of these things in future, because without the real concern of human being this will be no longer. So this is the poem A Night in the June, written by a William Wordsworth, and in this poem he was concerned with the relationship between the human being and the nature. At last in this poem poet wants to tell the human being, don't show the false concern about the nature. The way you are taking care now should also do the same in future. Show the real face, save the earth. So this is the poem A Night in a June. I'm sure you must have understood the poem, and in this poem we have covered the central idea of the poem, word meaning of the poem, and a para-wise explanation of the poem. So students, in our next session we are going to cover some rhyming scheme and our reference to context question, or I will give you some summary of the question, this poem also. So now what you have to do at home, you have to read this poem and try to get the rhyming scheme, as I have already taught you how to do the rhyming scheme. Try to do the rhyming scheme of the poem and just read this poem again and again and try to understand the idea of the poem, or what is the idea of a poet behind these lines. Thank you and Sai Ram. Take care.